Today I have an unboxing of what's possibly the best LCD TV you can buy right now in 2019, the Samsung Q90R QLED TV. Stick around. Perfect. Hey guys, it's the Villaman here, and if you're new here, then on this channel we bring you the tech of entertainment. So we do unboxings, demos, comparisons, tips, and real-world reviews so you can find and get the most out of the tech that entertains you. So if you're into that, then hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride. So today we'll be doing the unboxing and going through the initial setup of the Samsung Q90R. Now this is their flagship 4K HDR TV for 2019. I previously looked at the Q80R from Samsung, and you can check it out in the playlist linked up there. But right now we're looking at the Q90R, so let's get into it. Cut these away from you. So first things first, as always, is the quick setup guide, but as always, you never need this because, you know, that's why I'm here. So first is Samsung's One Connect box. This is what houses all the brains and input and output connections of the TV. The next up we have a part of the stand. Then there's the obligatory bag with all the cables. It has the Samsung remote, power cable, user manual, and some batteries. And the fittings you need to assemble the stand. Alright, so now we can just get the styrofoam out and just dig in. I have one styrofoam still stuck in the box, so that's why that's bare. Now before we take the TV out of the box, we have to take out the stand, and it's a very interesting stand design. This is some thick steel and heavy. It has a nice weight to it, probably about 20 or so pounds. So if you see my previous videos, then you know that I recommend that if you don't have a surface that's flat and large enough to actually place the TV on to assemble the stand, then you can use the box that the TV came in and use the styrofoam that came inside the box as support and place the TV on the stand, or place the TV on the box to actually assemble the stand. So what we'll do, and to do that I will need the help of my lovely assistant. Right, so let's get this out here. So of the 8 screws that come with the packaging of the stand, you'll need 4 of them to attach the bracket to the TV, which then in turns get attached to the stand. Let's do it right now. So as you can see, there are some prongs here which you actually slide into these holes right here. Place it flat and just slide it up. And then you'll see all the screw holes align. Be careful not to over tighten them. And now we install the stand. So we have these holes right here, which get lined up with these 3 receptors, as I'll call them. Just put it in, and it basically hangs off it. So the curved part will be facing backwards, while the flat open part is facing forward. Then you screw in your screws. This is the home for those 4 remaining screws. Voila! You should probably remove this plastic before you install the stand. I didn't, learn from my mistake. There's another pouch with a single screw and some accessories, and what that is for is to connect the One Connect box cable connector to the TV and hold it securely. That's the most silent peel ever. You can get the Samsung Q90R in 3 sizes, 65, 75, and a massive 80 inches. It has Samsung's Quantum Processor 4K for picture processing and upscaling, their direct full array 16x full array local dimming backlight system, their ultra viewing angle technology for wider viewing angles, and it supports 3 flavors of HDR, HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and hybrid light gamma HDR, like this video. Alright, let's get this bad boy set up. This TV is so bright.
Hello and welcome. Please download the SmartThings app on your mobile to start TV setup.
You actually don't need the SmartThings app, so we're just going to use the remote.
You may press the right button to set up the TV with the TV remote.
I already said that, Samsung.
The accessibility function is available.
So on HDMI 1, I have the cable box connected, and on HDMI 3, I have the Denon X4500H receiver. That's pretty much the brains of my home theater, so all my devices are connected through that. Now, if you have a receiver also, and you want to use the receiver as the brains of your home theater also, and have all your devices connected to the receiver, and the receiver in turn connected to your TV, then it should be connected to HDMI 3, which has the audio return channel. So that way when you're using apps on the TV, like Netflix or what have you, then the TV can send that Dolby Atmos or whatever surround sound signal to your receiver. So intelligent mode will actually adjust the brightness and volume actually depending on your room. But we don't want that right now, so let's skip it. It's good for nighttime viewing, so if you have a bright room and it gets dark at nighttime, then the TV will also adjust the brightness accordingly, which is pretty handy. So select your wireless network. You don't need a Samsung account to sign in, so let's skip this part also. So it's identified my cable box connected through HDMI 1. It's a pretty smart TV. Now it tells you all the things that are connected to your TV, HDMI devices, and the wireless network. All right. So after this, you can start adding the apps that you use. And if you have a service like DirecTV Now, you can always add that one, but I don't, so I won't. You can add HGTV apps, like network TV apps. And one thing I like about Samsung's Tizen is it's fast, but it's also very fully featured. So it has a lot of apps, from network TV apps to streaming apps to what have you. It even has an Apple TV app, which is brand new. I am ready to enjoy my smart hub. Thank you.
On HGTV and HGTV Go.
Saving money with Western Union from our app, website, or in store.
So right now we're basically adjusting the volume and channel just to see if the TV remote works. And it does. So now we can move on and start watching TV. Alright, so first impressions, I am digging this design. This floating screen effect that the stand creates, I really like it. Also, this TV has the power to be very bright, as it's a QLED, so as you may know. But with great power comes great responsibility, and I'm glad that's the case, because even though the backlight has the power to be so bright, it actually has ambient light detection enabled by default. So that means that when you set the TV up, if you're in a dark room, for example, it won't singe your retinas by having the backlight at the max setting. But since I have the TV here, I'll be creating a bunch of videos on it. And if you're a long-time viewer, then you probably already know what I'm talking about. So there'll be the picture settings video, the gaming demo, of course, and the comparison with the OLED. So there's a gaming demo comparison, or a gaming comparison, and a picture comparison that I'll be doing. You can watch the picture comparison in the card linked up there if you haven't seen it already. How did I do that? Magic. Don't worry about it. It's magic. But even beyond that, I have the Sony X800 Mark II Blu-ray player, and I'm actually curious about how it performs in HDR movies versus my Xbox One X. So is it actually worth buying a standalone Blu-ray player if you have an Xbox? That's the comparison that I am curious about, so I'll be creating that. Stick around for that. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that, because as always, there is a lot more to come. Oh, and don't forget to check out the merch store for home theater t-shirts like this and more. Let me know what you think about this TV in the comments and if it's on your list. Don't forget to like the video if you like the video, and thanks for watching. Until next time, this has been your friendly neighborhood Villaman saying, peace.